Hi everyone, David here from daviddumaisaudio.com, and in this video I want to show you guys 4 ways to glue your monster sounds, your monster layers together. But before we do, if you haven't checked the description yet, I'm going to be giving you guys some free monster roar sound effects, so make sure you check the link for that. All right, let's jump into our project. All right, so this is the sound that we're going to be working with, so let's just have a listen to it and then we'll go from there. All right, so that is the monster sound that I'm working with. And like I said, actually, before we jump into it, I'm just going to actually take off all of the effects on this sound so that you guys can hear what I started with and what we are working with. So this is the sound without any effects on. And as you can see here, I still had a reverb on that. All right, but as you can see here, this is actually all from the same sound source, the same material. It's actually the exact same file 4 times. I just copied and pasted it 4 times on different files, and it's just an exercise band that I was rubbing on different surfaces. So that is the sound that I started with. So this video, by the way, it's not going to be about me like showing you guys how I created this monster sound. If you guys are interested in that, you just let me know in the comments and maybe I'll make a video about it. But it's more about like how did I glue all these sounds together so that they sounded from the same source and they sounded like one creature rather than like 4 separate layers. Yeah, so the first thing that I used is a compressor. And this I put on my master bus here. So I'm using OTT. It's a multi-band compressor. But basically what it's doing is it's compressing all the sounds so that there's no like peaks coming out anywhere. So for example, if I look here, like this sound source is not too bad because it's relatively compressed, but like let's say I had like this peak right here, this file that's poking out at this point. Well, if there's multiple of these poking at the same point, it's going to really make that sound pop out at this certain point in the audio file. But because you don't want that, you want it to sound uniform. This compressor is kind of compressing all the peaks. So this is doing it on 3 bands, so the highs, mids, and lows. And so I'm actually just going to take it off so you guys can have a listen to what it's actually doing. So this is with it off. I actually had 2 of them on, so let's hear with both of them off. Okay, so that's that, and this is with it on. So it's kind of minor. I just put the reverb back on. Let's listen to it off with the reverb now. And back on. So the few things it's doing, like I talked before, it's kind of making sure all the files are compressed together. And then also what it's doing here, it's balancing out all the frequencies. So what I heard with it off is that you get a lot more of those mids and the lows and not so much of the highs. And then once it comes on, it feels a lot more balanced, a lot more focused and centered, like the monster's in front of you rather than like in a box or something. So yeah, this is the first way I like to glue my layers together. All right, so the second way that I like to glue and combine my monster sounds together is by using a Formant filter. So I actually use 2 Formant filters for this monster sound. So I'm just going to play it with it off and then back on so you guys can have an idea of what it's doing, and then I'll explain why I used it. So what I notice and what I hear when I have it off is that the roar sounds a lot more rough, a lot more I don't know, aggressive or distorted, which could be fine. Like that could be what you're going for, and that you could be happy with that, and that could totally work for whatever project you're working on. But I like to put this Formant filter on because I just find it gives it a vocal quality to sound sources that are not human or creature vocals, right? So because I'm using like a rubber band or an exercise band and rubbing it on surfaces, like you don't get that vocal sound. So the Formant filter helps to give that vocal sound. So here I have it on, what is this, like an O vowel, and here I have it on like a ah-ish vowel. And what I like to do is you can put the Q really high, but then it really like pokes out certain frequencies. So I like to keep it all the way down. And then that way it's a lot more transparent. So this is the second way I like to glue my monster sounds. All right, the third way that I like to do it is kind of a combination of number 1 and 2. So number 1, I said compressor. I was using multiband. Number 2, a Formant filter, which basically a Formant filter is like an EQ with a specific kind of shape to it. So number 3 is I like to use a specific plugin, and it's Track Spacer. But basically what it is, like you can use other plugins for this, but it's a dynamic compressor. So it's like an EQ, but a dynamic EQ. So I put this on here, so on this second track, and if I'm not mistaken, so what it's going to do is whenever, so I'm just going to mute these here. So whenever these two tracks are playing, this first track is going to signal to this second track here to cut the frequencies of the first track out so that they don't clash together. So let's just hear it and see what happens. So if I turn it off, let's hear it. And on. So right now they're kind of interacting with each other, and I decided to put this first track here on as the lead. So this is the one that's it's signaling to cut out whatever frequencies are part of this sound file. It's cutting them out in this file so that they're not clashing with each other, and it's kind of subtle. Like there's not very much of it, and I only put it at 35%, so it's pretty subtle, and it just blends a lot more together. It makes the frequency spectrum a lot fuller, at least to my ears, and it specifically for these two, it just makes the mids sound a lot cleaner. So I did that a few times. So I did that for these two. I also did that for this one here. I have an instance of it here, and this one I don't. So yeah, it's just to help clean up the files so that they're not kind of all competing for the same space, in the same frequency space. So anyways, this is the second way that I like to glue and layer my sounds together. All right, the fourth and final way to do it that I like to do it, and I think is really helpful, and that's by using a reverb. And by using a reverb, you're really placing the 4 layers into the same space, physical space, or a hall, or outdoors. So it makes all the layers sound like they're coming from the same place rather than different sources. So, so for this one here, I used Stratus 3D, and it's just an exterior space, and I used the preset by the Green Monster, and I put it so the mix was at like 100% when you come with the preset. I just put it down to 19, and that's basically it. And now all the sounds here are going through into this reverb. So if I turn it off, I'll just A/B it so we can hear it. So this is with it off. So as you can hear, it makes a huge difference. It makes the monster sound a lot bigger, a lot more present, and it just it just makes such a big difference in combining the sounds together. So yeah, so that's basically it. Those are the 4 ways I like to glue my monster sounds, my monster layers together. So I hope you guys found that useful and valuable. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. I always do my best to answer them. Also, remember to check the description for those free monster roar sound effects I'll be giving to you guys. So that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.